We have the wonderful Michelle here live with me, and she's just after correcting me because we had the event set up to how Michelle has reconvinced her skeptical son with a $16,000 windfall. And the first thing she said was, "It wasn't 16, it was 67,000."
Yep.
So I am so excited to hear this. To just give you a heads up, like, Michelle joined just a couple of months ago in our Powerhouse program, and I just remember seeing her profile, smiley face on her profile, and I know she took action really quickly. So Michelle, where are you in the world? And let's get started, because I can't wait to hear all. I don't know, I just had that one thing and I got it wrong.
Thank you, Patricia, for changing my life. So my name is Michelle McDonald. I live in Boston, Massachusetts. I work as a registered nurse at Mass General full-time, and then I also work full-time real estate as a real estate agent. Doing that because I'm newly divorced, have 4 children, 2 of them living at home, sons that are in college. So I thought, I've been a nurse at Mass General 35 years. I better think of my next fun thing to do when I retire, because obviously it's going to be. So I thought real estate, but I thought I'd do it a little bit and dabble in it for 4 or 5 years and then take off. But of course, it took off right away after doing Feng Shui. So now, but I love it. Because right now I don't have a significant other. I have, plenty of time to see my girlfriends. My kids don't need me anymore. So it's been great. Yeah. So I started. Do you want me to just go and talk about?
Go ahead. Tell me you started.
So I've been looking at this new pop-up because I always follow the new people, and there's a few people I totally relate to. There was a Julie Laurel maybe that I read her post, and I was like, that was me. I started a free masterclass a year today, or a year this month, I think it was in January. And did all your remedies and thought, this is great, it's free, this is perfect. Did your little red ribbons, close your toilet seat, and put the abundance coins, which I loved, in the southeast corner. So I did that in my home, and then in each son's bedroom. Obviously, I have 2 sons that are in college, and one's out of college, he's in law school. So they're big football players, college football. So you can imagine, they're like, what are you doing? Why are you putting coins in my room? I'm like, just don't touch them. I'll come in and dust them, just don't touch them. So they just let me go. They're like, fine, Mom, whatever. So we did that in January. By February, I think it was February 1st, Michael, my son who's in law school, won $67,000 in the lottery.
Oh my God.
Like and he just said to me, oh my God, Mom, it's your stinking coins. Like he never wins anything. So that was just unbelievable for him to pay off his undergrad. Just amazing. So we said, all right, let's just go see how this unfolds. So that was the first big win. Wasn't expecting that. Right at the same time, I was selling my condo to buy a home. So I just have 2 dogs, and being in a condo, I thought was going to be good, but I just need a backyard. And so my dream home was to be near the water. Didn't know if I could afford it, but that was going to be my dream. So as you had always said, write your intentions. I would write day and night. I was going to bring them out to show you. They're like this thick, everything I read every day and night. And one of them was, please give me a home, good for people, good for money, near the water. That was in February. And also I wanted to sell the condo as a realtor. I did it myself. And I said, please send me a buyer that doesn't have a real estate agent. And around our area, all buyers come to the open houses with real estate agents already, which is fine. And then if you sell it, you get half, the other realtor gets half the commission. Wouldn't you know, I put my galloping horses at the front door. The first weekend, a family comes in, no realtor. He said, I want to buy this gorgeous home. And within, I think it was 4 weeks, the house was sold, and I got both sides of the commission, $27,000 of US dollars. So that was like, so then I didn't know what to do with the galloping horses, because then I knew I was going to be, do I put them away? I was all confused. So that was the second, obviously, big win in it was February or March of last year. This is all now during COVID. I'm a nurse at Mass General working full time, stressed to the gills, but that made me feel great. I was like, what am I stressing about? You just always say, trust the process, believe. And I said, that's what I just have to let go of everything else, which I did. I have my little notes here. So that was the second big win. Then, as I said, I always said day and night, a house good for money, good for people, near the water. wouldn't you know it, in July, bought my dream home. I was going to show you it.
I know the pictures of it with all the water and the view.
Yeah, you can see all the water.
I've seen the pictures in our group.
I'll just walk over because it's so cool. So basically, it's a house looking at the Boston skyline, which you might not be able to see, but can you see the water?
I can't really see it, no, because the glare of the sun. That's so annoying.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of construction out there, but that's the Boston skyline. The nighttime, it's amazing with the sunset. Like, I love sunsets more so than probably sunrises, and it's gorgeous. So that was in July. So then I'm like, okay. I woke up one night in August and I said, I need to find out really if it's a good house, good for money, good for people. Because the sellers that left were terrible. We had heard they were terrible. The house needed work. But I said, I'm joining her program. If I've done this well with her I'm joining it. It was a lot of money. And that's where I relate to that Julie who said, she was sad because she realized how much money when she found out about the course. And I just have to say to everybody, it's not. It is a lot. Do your payments, whatever you can do, but you will get it back in 100-fold by joining. Joined the program in August, got the report. The report said your house is good for money, good for people. I was like ecstatic. So that just was like, oh, this is great. In the meantime, it needed a lot of work. And one win I forgot to tell you when I put the intention back in, February about finding my house, I also said, please let me get overtime at the hospital because I'm going to be buying a house. I'm going to need to do work probably. The hospital wasn't giving any overtime during COVID. We were so stressed and they lost, obviously hospitals lost a lot of money. Some hospitals closed around here or about to close. So I said, well, I'll never get overtime, but I'll just put it out there. Since March, they put me on a special project for Mass General for COVID. I have been at home working, which is amazing. And I have gotten 10 hours a week overtime. That's time and a half. That's $120 an hour for 10 hours every week for the last 8 months. Still hasn't ended. And that's what, 40, 50,000 extra on top of my pay of a 35-year-old nurse. I couldn't make up this stuff. I'm like, this is crazy. So that's been awesome. I'm going to keep saying that. I hope I continue with this overtime, obviously, but I'm not even going to say anything negative because it's just great. So that was, that whole thing. So now August comes, I'm in the program. I immediately did everything you told me. I got the report. People might get nervous. The report, you just take it as you can. If you can do the remedies all at once, great. But like you always said, it's not a race. Just have fun with it and do your best you can. And so I just knew the way I am, I needed to get everything in right away. Did everything you told me to do. Within a month, I got a check in the mail from my attorney. And I was like, oh, what is this? And it was from the closing attorney from the real estate back 2 months ago. From the closing, they had overcharged me $2,000. There was a check for $2,000. He hadn't even called me. He just sent the check out. I was like, oh, this is crazy. I didn't even know they overcharged me. Then about a month later, I think we're into September, I get a check for a medical refund. My son played football for University of Virginia. So it was big time football for 5 years. And there was a medical refund that they never gave me that they were supposed to. That was $1,500 in like September of this year, of 2020. After that, I think we're getting into like October. The hospital tells us because we all worked so hard in COVID, they sent out a $2,000 bonus for all nurses. Received that, I think in like October, November. And then in December, they let us know we were all, I don't usually get raises because I'm at the top pay for being the 35 years, but they decided we all deserve to be, our max pay deserves to go up. So everyone was getting a raise and I got $1.50 an hour raise in December. Now come January, I'm just like, and we're getting our new report in February because once you join the program, you'll get a free report the next year, which is awesome, starting the Chinese New Year, February 4th. So I'm just getting ready for this new report to see what you say. I can't even say, when I look at my paper, you don't realize the wins unless you write them down. Now, as you always said, you just expect these things. I don't put any energy on anything. And if it's going to be good, if it's going to be energy, I'll put good energy on it. But I don't say anything negative and I just expect to get it, which that was never me. I was always positive as a nurse and always, but being divorced, I had 4 children, but I always stayed positive. But now, even my kids, so that's the funny thing. So the boys, they're just like, Mom, you do whatever you have to do to our rooms. We don't care. So my poor son, the law student he's in between two things. He has like 4 remedies. And some of them are like, he's like, I'm not saying a thing. I go, yep, just leave them there. Don't touch them. And he just does. And then my other son, who I never thought, he's living with his 4 buddies in South Boston. And I didn't think he'd ever do anything. And he sent me a picture just last week of his room with the money plants at the windowsill. So that for him to do a money plant, I go, it looks like it's dying. It can't die. So if it's dead, we got to buy you a new one. He's like, it came dead, Mom, I think. It came delivered dead. But it did come back. He took care of it. So for me to see them, the only problem with them is keeping the toilet seats closed with boys.
You can buy automatic toilet closing.
That's the hardest. But so when you look at all my wins, if we ever added it all up, it's probably 200,000, I bet, right? Of US dollars, 67 plus, you almost can't like explain it.
Yeah.
So anybody out there that's watching, you might say it's a lot of money, but okay, I thought it was so much money. I can't do this. That's why I waited 6-8 months. But why wait? That's what I have to say, like, just believe and trust, do the program, the payments will come, and then you'll get back. Obviously we can't guarantee, but if you do the work, it will come back 100-fold, It is
like, I am like, oh my God.
Yeah. And I love the fact you told me to talk to the home, because this home was abused. So I neglected, I should say. So when I first got in, I had to put 60 new windows with all new wood. I put new flooring, a new roof. So I would never have been able to do that, but I paid cash because I used that 50,000 from the overtime, which I know I wouldn't have got that overtime if it wasn't part of this program. And I just kept saying it and believing it. And so now I talk to my home every day, and when I walk in, and I like doing that because my house is important to me with my family and all the parties and gatherings, and it just made sense. Yeah, like, you have to take care of your home. Don't neglect it, talk to it. And it's just great to now see my 4 children, like, now they're starting out on their own.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting,
Amazing.
So I have to thank you more than you know.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you coming on and sharing your story. Like, I'm just so excited to hear everything that's happened. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. So like, it must be cool for you to see these people you don't even know, and to see how you've changed their lives. But that trusting, it's tough for people that are listening on the masterclass, because I was there a year ago this month, or whenever it was. I think it was January or December. And I just had like an epiphany one night, and it just said, what are you doing? Just join, because I really wanted to find out about this new home, knowing the history that the seller was awful, negative, didn't take care of the home. So people out there, just do it, Like, I don't think there's nothing to regret, even if you, for some reason, didn't put all the remedies in I still think you'll see something. The change in your energy. I don't notice, like, everyone talks about the energy change in the house. I don't notice that. I think it's just me, because when I go to acupuncture, I don't feel like the warmth that you get in the chi, but where I wish I did, because I love that, because I bet you this definitely, but I don't actually feel it. But I know when people walk in this home, they just love the feeling. They say, this is just, I love being here. So that's the feeling. I just,
You take it for granted. It's part of you.
Yeah. So it's been just awesome.
Amazing. Yeah. Michelle, you have been part of the community. What would you say about the community? Like, you're super busy, so you haven't been as active, but when you ask a question, it's like straight on. So
I still try, like, on my lunch hour, I'll go on to see what you're doing or what people, because as you're part of the community, you just get so much help. And I see that. And I think I asked a couple of questions. So you could be on there 10 times a day on Facebook asking questions. And you guys, your team is amazing. Your team gets back to people like immediately with answers if you have an answer, or so I think that's important. Like, you're paying, I don't even know the cost of what it is now, but you're paying an amount that it is big, a large amount for people, but the service you're getting, never mind that. With mine, you can't even explain it, but your team is awesome. So you're giving great service, which to me is very important,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think anybody out there, just do it. Believe in it. You can't go wrong, right? Like it's changed my life.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah.
And it's so exciting. I love that you were like setting the intention for your house to be good for people, good for money. And
Yeah.
rather than it being like a bad thing and seeing it as doom.
Oh, it could have,
like,
right.
You can turn it around.
If I bought this house without meeting you and knowing that and thinking that and changing my thinking, I think I would have bought this house and been so sad, like, because it just needed things. But it's like, everything's done now. And I'm just totally enjoying being right at the ocean. It's a little dirt road and there's like 3 people on my road. And then I'm beside, across the way, my old neighborhood where my kids grew up. So it's like, they're over there. I never even knew about this little area because the neighbors here have been here. They said, it's a little piece of paradise. It's a secret little, and I go, it's a gem. I go, it is a gem because I lived in Quincy my whole life and didn't know about it. Yeah. So it's definitely amazing.
Absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much, Michelle, for going on. Like, honestly, like this has made my day. I'm going to have to sort my office out a bit more. And you know what, it's a bit like walking my talk. Myself and Ken cleaned all our windows this morning. So it's like really this, we've got more jobs to do around the house. And I just know I'll be like bopping around, you know. And
well, I'm thankful that you went into this line of work. Let me tell you. And I said, someone said, how did you meet her? I said, I don't know. You must have, I don't even know how. I don't think I Googled Feng Shui because I was kind of thinking of it. I don't know. I think you just popped up on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
How weird is that? Yeah.
There you go. And it's like meant to be. Just
meant to be.
Meant to be.
Yeah. So thank you and your team.
Thank you so much. That's absolutely amazing. I'm so happy for you. Like, how cool is this?
Oh, the only thing I have to tell you. So the only thing, and I've done everything, is my soulmate. So I've done everything you said, and my children are a little like, okay, you're taking it a little far with the remedies in my room, but I don't know, just don't even look at them. And this is what I need to do. So I know that in 2021, I have this knowing that my soulmate's coming. So if he does, I'm going to let you know. I like the idea that you say, because even though I had all those wins before during the masterclass, free masterclass, and then still continue to have all these wins, you said that sometimes you put the remedies in and start, and it can be a slow process. So that's what I took. I go, it might be, I'm only 4 months into it. So it could be, but I already had those huge wins. So that's what people have to realize. If you put all the remedies in, it might be just a little slow, like the house might take. So hopefully the soulmate, I know he's coming in 2021.
Watch this space. So. The next time we have you on, you have to let us know, because this is the other thing. Everyone gets really busy and doesn't tell us what's happened.
Yes.
Michelle.
I know. I never wrote in to say what was happening. I know, because I'm too busy, but yeah.
So good. So, thank you, Michelle. This is my favorite part actually of doing this whole launch, getting the surprise, getting on a call with someone totally I didn't know.
Right.
All I knew was about your son's win, and I was like, amazing. She's convinced her sons. Like,
and I laughed that it was 16,000. I go, wait till she hears it's 67,000, all in like almost a lump sum, and to pay his college undergrad off. I was like, this is crazy. Yeah,
67,000. Yeah. More, please. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Thank you, everyone. We will see you later on. Michelle, thanks a million. Can't wait to see how these wins keep rolling on in.
Okay.
Have a great day. Thanks a million.
Thanks.